Hi, it's Beezy. It is April 20th, 2022, and it is day 38. Drumroll. um, Pretty good day. Doing lots of stuff. Uh, Lots of packing, lots of cleaning out, lots of letting go, lots of laughing. Um, yeah, so lots of different good stuff. Big things. I tested out. I got this bag that goes on the roof rack. Um, All American company, really good, interesting company, and they all go camping. They all do stuff. So they when they have dogs, they have footage of them and the interviews and fascinating. Um, I think they went out and got a bunch of people who worked there and said, "Okay, go destroy that bag. Don't come back until you destroy the bag." I don't think they've found the people yet. Anyways, it's cool. It's heavy duty. I have to think of the name. I don't see a box for the name of it, but a very cool thing. Heavy duty. It's made out of nylon and other things with straps, and you can put it on a excuse me, on the top of a car, whether you have a roof rack or not. I have a roof rack, so that's the easier one to do. But it's piece of work because the truck is tall and I'm short. So my friend Toby helped me tonight. I tested it all out on the porch, made everything ever could go in it and it would fit. And I think I mentioned this last night that I was going to just give up Xander's crate, and because even with the travel trailer, it wouldn't fit in there. I mean, it would fit. I could put it right in the middle of the floor, but that wouldn't work. So I'm gonna hopefully maybe I can find someone who wants to at least take it, or someone could buy it. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what they'll do with it. But I did put there too. I've got their forget there's a name. It's a gold. It's actually that color metal. Super heavy, clean. Must be the way they do the steel, but they're X pens and they're 36 inches high. And you can make one fairly good size hexagonal, or you can put the two together. But that would be helpful for them so they don't have to be on a leash all the time and stuff. And they'll. So I got those in, and then I took the screen's not wide enough, big square bags that were going to be the flooring, subflooring in one place, and some more kind of long-term storage thing. There are actually a few books in there, and mostly light stuff. So it's not that heavy up there, but it's actually a bunch of stuff, so it fits well. And then I'm not sure I'll ever do it by myself, but I think we got it rigged up so that I can stand on the tailgate with the, the glass door down, and I can pretty well reach up there and unzip the tail end of it so I can at least get into the first big bag that's in there. Maybe. So that'd be something because I put them in the right order so that the one furthest forward is more longer term storage. And then got it all tied down. I have to go to town anyways tomorrow, but I'm gonna go to town so and kind of make the thing shake and everything before I get on the highway when I leave next week. And we also got the the pop up tent. It's just like a little canopy thing, and that I was able to get on myself. And we we have a temporary rig on it because I don't have the right thing. I think they're like the boat. They're like boat ties. They have like a clampy with a teeth in them. Not a ratchet strap because those I can never get those undone. But a clamp thing. So I'll go to town, take my bags for a drive, a little scenic tour, and I'll go fast because it's part of the way is 55, 60 miles, 55 anyways. Um, but um, so hopefully I stay there, and then I'll go to the big town, Arlington Hardware, and get a bunch of those straps, and then come back and I'll rig it up the way that he showed me, and take the other things off, rig it up the way he showed me, and then I'll ask him to, swing by one of his million times at work tomorrow for him. I have just in the middle of the day off. I work on the morning and at night. So he'll check it, make sure it's right. So that's done, and I just finished. Yeah, I've got one other thing working over there, but I'm on the laptop. The big desktop is going. I've been all day, off and on. I've been coming back in and erasing stuff from it. But before I can erase it, I have to make sure that I have it on a external hard drive, so so that it's mobile to use on this laptop. Um, so it's all of my sophisticated video editing software and photography and all sorts of stuff. So I can't jettison it from there. I can't do a wipe. Well, I can, but but I wouldn't be very happy. So I have to move every piece over and then check to make sure that I have the login straight and the proper things that they'll let me in the site. So it takes quite a long time. I mean, I've been working at that since early this morning because the computer guy's coming tomorrow. So got the two different desktops and nice rigs. There, you would call them gaming, very fancy, um, high speed, and all the right components for gaming. That isn't why I got them. So for the graphics, for doing the video and photography. But it's exciting to at least be moving that direction. I think he was thinking he could swap me a little something. I don't know. There may be some cables. There may be something. So at least he'll give them a good home. Find somebody who can use them. They won't get thrown in the dumpster. Ay, ay, ay. And they'll move along. So it is what it is, and I'm just putting it out there that all that stuff that I'm releasing, in the right moments will come around, um, and come back to me. So I'm starting to get little evidence of that in interesting little ways. So I'll keep you posted on how those things flow through. The house is looking a little cleaner, and the shelves are bare, and so that's good. Um, so that's pretty much all I wanted to just update you on the packing, making progress. Once I start work at 6 tomorrow, um, and then at 8:45 I'll be off for a little bit and meet the computer guy. And I got to run into town, take my roof rack bags for a drive, scenic drive, and do some stuff, and then come back. And I'll have some time in the middle of the day to do a little bit more packing, and then I work in the afternoon, early evening, and then tomorrow night I'll pack. And I got to get it all done because that's my deadline. Because I have the next day is a long work day, the very last one, and my last paycheck. So that is very good on one hand, and a little nerve wracking on the other hand. And then I want to be all done. I might do one more cleaning right before I leave, but I want it so between now and Friday night, everything's packed. Everything that can be loaded except for a few things, everything's cleaned, vacuumed, rugs beat. Um, there's one nice gentleman who works here. He's the one who took the cat. He loves his cat. Um, so he's going to come and take a bunch of stuff. So it'll be the last of the furniture out of here, and by Friday night. So that a miracles of all miracles, on Saturday, I have a PTO day. So I'm going to sleep late, which I laugh at because, if the brain isn't coming with lists or something, even for me, that would be 7:30. But that's late, so I'll take it. And and then I'd like to just play a bit, maybe sit and just read for fun, or do a ceremony, or all manner of things. But that's my intention, is for those 3 days to be relaxing, to be inspiring, to be happy, to play. I have some plans to do some creative stuff, or create some things, and um, share some fun things. Some with the founding members and some with everybody else. So I've got some um, we'll get some things I'm doing. So I want to play with that, and I'm going to trust that all that will come forward and no glitches. And oh, and a couple of people had mentioned some ideas about, I asked, should I keep the wood or whatever, and I think for right this moment, I'm going to keep it. But one of the things I'm going to do is um, either a drill, or I think they have another tool I can use. We're on the side, long side that's on the outside, in the truck, but on the outside. Um, make a couple slots that I can run some bungee cords or some of those same toothy um, straps. Then I can put some storage on the thing. I also think as long as it's not too hot, there can be times when, if I can park in a shady spot and get a nice breeze going and it's not raining. I have a little fan, USB fan that I can run in there too. Um, that would be a nice time for Rose to be in. She can just be out in the back of the truck, and then so she'll have a nice place there, that so and she doesn't mind the packages to to walk through. I'm laughing because early this morning, one of the big bags that's the long-term storage that's going up on the roof was sitting on my bed, and I was putting a quilt in it and some other stuff. And I walked back in the room, and I thought, the lid was kind of had flopped over, and I was surprised because what I was putting in there at first was brightly colored, and there was this, kind of muted gray, you know, and I realized after I took the filmy lid off, there she was curled up. She says, "I'm ready to go. Let's pack this puppy, get on the road." So she's doing good. She's never been annoyed with the collar, and it jingles a little here and there, which is good because then I can get a sense of where she is, and I won't be, so nervous about, are you there? Did you scoot out when I wasn't looking? So, and the boys are sitting here, and it's very interesting. A lot of times, dogs, if you, well, animals in general, but if you packing or doing something, they get kind of nervous, and they just, what there is they're underfoot, so they wander, from this space down to there, and they watch what I'm packing, or they see what I'm doing, or if there's an epic fail, they you go, yeah, no, I didn't wait too good. But they just kind of move along, this flow of Aussies, and occasionally there's some playing and stuff. But as long as they don't lose sight of me, because they know that we're all moving, they want to make sure they're not left behind. They're good with it. So it's an interesting thing. I had a lovely time tonight, when I went down, for Toby to help me pack my thing. I had a nice visit. So his dog, who I helped raise, and my guys could run and have a really good time. And so they did a little. We had a little this little potluck dinner. So it was nice to spend an hour there just playing with the dogs and saying goodbye to his wife and 2 daughters. And I'll see him again because I work with him. But um, so that was kind of sweet, and kind of, I don't think it was sad. It was more sad for them than it was for me. And that's not that I won't miss him, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, even with all the unknowns. Well, that's kind of exciting, the unknowns. It's a wonderful way to pre-script exactly what you want from the heart, and to have the wouldn't it be wonderful if, and play with all that, and really let the heart sing and the imagination just fire, and have an aliveness to you, and have that visioning, that pre-scripting, that thought of the possibilities, and the different wouldn't it be wonderful ifs to play with, and really have it come alive. Have feel that spark within your body and all that's going on. And when those two meet, you're creating more than you had a moment ago. You're actually you're actually building that which you're seeing in your imagination, in your envisioning, the messages that you're getting through from you, that connection and heart resonance. It's, it's like taking a hammer and you're actually building stuff. It's you're solidifying it in the pre-matter template as you're bringing it forward. And when you get on a roll with it, even if you have no idea how something will come, or exactly how you want it, the sense, if you go for the feeling of, if you're playing with it, how does that make you feel? Is it happy? Is it exciting? Is it that, that exhilaration, is kind of nervous, and is kind of yay? Um, and the possibilities. And one thing that's keeps showing up for me is, I'll be, and sometimes I can sit down and do a nice meditation, but right now I haven't had a lot of time for it, any of that. But I can sit for a moment, or stand for a moment with some mid packing, mid clearing, mid throwing out, mid whatever, and stop for a minute and tune in to maybe a hummingbird comes by, or there's music from the trees, whatever it is, and I'll stop and just step into one of those vignettes of what is being created by me, and what is now a little further down the whole creational path, and coming from the pre-matter template into tangibleness. And what I'm describing is that it's palpable, that it has an energy and a life force of its own. It has, it's a complete, cohesive vibrational structure. And then when it comes more into contact with you, that is corporeal, that is in a physical um, state and structure, there's this alchemical reaction that puts the spark of life, puts the spark of that creativity and connection in your essence, I'm not sure the right word, but your ability to enliven yourself in that. And so when it meets that, now um, it takes your pre-scripting, it takes your path paving of what you're seeing and feeling, pulling to you and blooming from you, into a whole new thing. And it's fascinating to play with. It's like this, it's like, if you took clay or Play-Doh, where it's playing back with you. It's saying, well, hey, I should have an arm here, I need a hand here, flowers, or hard to describe, but it's fascinating. And had I've had things like this sometimes in the past, but never to this extent. And um, well, it's kind of like the computers, not the computers that like here, but the that I'm working from this minute. But the computers are sentient, and so when you connect with them, and maybe, because I do this all the time. I mean, I'll come back and go be working on one of the ships with one of these computers where I'm actually co-creating something, and then I'll sit down at my computer to do a video project or do a photography project or a compilation of composite of an image or something, and I'm frustrated because I can't remember how to get the software to do a certain thing that I know it can do, and then I just start laughing because I realize that it's the wrong computer. This isn't the sentient computer. So I have had spent a lot of time with that, and I just come back to the wrong computer. But what I'm describing here with no computers needed, with the pre-paving the path, laying out, and that when that whatever it is that is coming out of, it's not quite fully out of the pre-matter template into materialized form, whether it's an object or a feeling or an occurrence or an experience or another being, or a situation sort of a thing. When it starts to come out and you come forward and meet that, and now there's a, not only a holding where it is becoming part of you as it coalesces, but it's in the toroidal action of I would describe it, the picture as this, kind of effervescent, as it does its thing and the molecules, the energetic frequency of the molecules kind of change a bit, and so they're actually spinning very, very, very fast, and then they're slowing down, and they're now, presenting the form. But there's a consciousness to it. It's a creational, coherent structure. It is a thought form, and it's not only what you imagined or inspired, inspired creation and physical manifestation, but its language is really hard to describe the videos and my experiences, but it's alive is the word. It's sentient. It's has a very frustrating. It's not just a thing. It's not just a static structure. It actually, it's you creating it, you pre-paving and pre-scripting it. As it comes forward, it meets you and it mixes with your energetic field. So there's a vibrancy to it. There's a malleability, not the right word, but it can still be mixed and changed, but there is the changing part, the creation part, the creative bringing into structure part that's also part of whatever this is, not only how you brought it to be. Wow, that was a really bad way to describe it. It's very cool. And with the energies right now, and as we come from our heart and we're having that balance between the multidimensional and the physicality, and we have that trinity with the heart, soul, and self, where all of those things are aligning, the superpowers and the magic wand and the spirit essence of us, which is the direct relationship to the higher octave of your soul and source. It's magic, magic dust, magic effervescence that brings the two components alive, and you can then play with, you can see almost like a scrying pool or something. You can see the vignettes, you can see some of the aspects and potentiality of what will come forward from that. And as you're the observer effect, as you play with that, as you um, nurture that, as all of you is in alignment and coherence with that, it becomes more. The way I want to keep repeating is it's alive, it's cohesive structure, and it has the stuff of creation, the stuff of of a sentient cohesive structure. I don't know. Well, I'll leave it because I don't think I'm getting forward what I want to get forward, because it's pretty exciting. And we do this. We can do this. And my hope is that not only is it fun if I can get to language it properly, but if you think or hear me describing it, if it's getting through a little bit of a picture, a scene, a sense of that, and you go, huh, I wonder what, and you start to put, you will innately, now these things are innately coming on within us, and you can start to do it. If you notice, just notice and be in appreciation for yourself and what you're doing, an idea or a thought or a possibility, or I don't like this, so how can I release what I don't like about it and move and bring something forward. But it's that magical, and it's really that simple, because it's not magic at all. It's who we are, and it's cool stuff we can do. And so many people have for a long time been asking, well, how are we going to build the new earth? Who's going to do all this stuff? But what about, the trash? This is how we do it. This is how we do it. And we're doing it right now. And a lot of people aren't doing it consciously because it didn't occur to them, or they're not noticing what they're already being capable to do. But this is how we do it. And it's important then to be mindful and conscious with your heart to not interject in your scripting and your pre-paving. Well, but I don't have this. Or, you need that because that's the old way of doing something. Unless you want to rehash that before it goes completely gone, skip that step. Skip that step. And play with it. Because every step that we're taking, we're meeting people, whether they know it or not, conscious of it or not, or understand it or not. Things have changed and are changing more and more each moment. And so if you're coming from that trinity of yourself, if heart, soul, and self, if you're honest and forthright about, well, this is the way that I'm playing now, and I have this and this and this, and perhaps you'd like to do this agreement, or enter into this experience, or different things. And it's astonishing how little things and big things are showing up all over the place. And yeah, for me, that's happening. And then there are, epic fails here and there, but they're only epic fails in the moment because my perception of how it was supposed to look, or it would look, or this would flow, um, wasn't quite in alignment. And I'll finish with this part. Um, I discovered, like with the bed, it's a lot of it did what a lot of what it had to do for some other things in the pre-matter template to coalesce and come closer into being. Um, And in that space in between, it gave me it was a pressure relief valve. It let me relax a bit. I think I'm pretty sure day 11 or around there, I said, well, if I can just, maybe I just get on the plan that I'll be living in the back of the truck, figure out how to deal with that, figure out how to let go and come to non-attachment and heart sync on that, and just move through it. Um, that will let the pressure relief valve go so I can do other things. And so I'm seeing that is exactly so. I don't know what the next iteration short-term end result will be. I just know that I'm moving, sometimes very awkwardly stumbling through, but I'm moving in the right direction because I'm listening and hearing and feeling and noticing all of what's going on, and the volume of the communication and the colors and sound and geometric codes are off the charts. I think they always were for all of us. We just have been listening and playing. Because when we put something forward, we get more there. There is a reciprocal, symbiotic, co-creative relationship from within us. And that's part of one of the secrets, is to keep doing that, but in a forward motion, instead of saying, well, I don't have this, but it has to be done this way. It has to be done the way that you choose for it to be done. And if you're going, well, it has to be done that way, well, that's what you choose. So anyways, um it's quite an amazing journey, and it's quite a cosmically delicious to notice and step into what we already have at our fingertips, what we already have at our heart's inspired creationness. And as we notice, I just realized I don't have a mic. Well, I hope the sound works. As we notice this and play with this, what comes to fruition, what comes forward, is the new, and it's rocking. Even if you have no idea where you're going, or only kind of how you're going to get there, or into the unknown and what that shape is. You have, and I keep getting this message loud and clear. There's this tired doggy. I keep getting this message, I have everything I need. I know what to do. I know how to do it. Um, so you just keep taking the next moment and play at it, because we do have this. And boy, are we astonishingly good at it if we trust ourselves. So, day 38. 2 days left on the transition, and then we'll play with the mat full time. And perhaps I'll do more along that. So people, let me know if you like this, if it's helpful, if it's valuable, if it's interesting. Who knows? This may be some way this will be part of what I'll do to kind of put stuff out there. Maybe not every day, maybe every day. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, now I'm getting a lot of a lot of ideas and inspiration coming in. So anyways, we'll play with that later. I love you. Have a fun one.